Hello and welcome to Student Corner here on Central University Television Channel 44 and on Central University YouTube channel with me, James Amethali. Student Corner is an engaging and educational program brought to you by Central University Television. This program brings together students and educators from diverse universities across Sierra Leone to share their unique stories. In the program today, we shall be discussing, among many other things, bridging the gap between theory and practice in mass communication education, analyzing how Central University's mass communication curriculum integrates hands-on experience from the teaching radio and TV stations. To help me discuss this, I have with me in the studios Mr. Bakarr Bundu, head of the mass communication department at Central University. Before we start the conversation, let's have the quote of the day, which says, "You don't understand anything until you learn it more than one way." And it's coming from Marvin Lee Minsky, an American cognitive and a computer scientist. Minsky invented the confocal scanning microscope in 1955. Let's have some commercial break from our sponsors. We will be back after this break.
I'm here to tell you about one thing new. Maybe you could have heard, or maybe you have never heard. Central University is the most unique university in the country. Here, we have zero tolerance for cultism. Instead of joining social clubs that will destroy your future, like cultist clubs or clubs that will take you to bad places that will destroy you, we have educational clubs here. We have clubs here that build career. And today was just that perfect day to exhibit that. We saw beautiful clubs, we saw intellectual clubs coming up, displaying what they have. They exhibited much of what they got to showcase these clubs to new students and as well to student people who want to be part of the university should they graduate high school.
I really like the college because of they have authentic things that I have never seen before, and these things are like the skeletal board. I have never seen it before, and they have a very wonderful skills lab and even the computer lab, and also they have a very beautiful canteen, and also they have like a beautiful agricultural department. I also like the department, and also a very authentic powerhouse. I really like the area or the college. I really like it, so thank you.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Student Corner here on Central University Television Channel 44, broadcasting live from our studios here at 1 Silicon Hills, Mile 91. Still in the studio with me is Mr. Bakarr Bundu, head of the mass communication department at Central University. Stay with us as he tells us how the university's mass communication curriculum integrates hands-on experience from the teaching radio and TV station. Good day and welcome to CUTV, Mr. Bundu.
How are you? It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. So, to talk more, to dilate more on a topic of this course, bridging the gap between theory and that of practical in the mass communication setting. More so, you are an expert in the field, leading a whole department. What do you make of this?
First, I would say mass communication education traditionally focus on theoretical knowledge, which has to what including modules that are theoretically ingrained. However, I will note that practical experience is key to prepare students for year or media careers. So that is something that is very key. So, like also at Central University, generally, I would say when we introduce programs, we ensure that we incorporate practical aspect of that particular program in the curriculum. So for mass communication, we are not an exception. Thankfully enough, we have a visionary chancellor and an experienced vice chancellor. So with that, In preparing our curriculum, we ensure that we integrate hands-on practical in the curriculum. And that is why in our curriculum from year one on to year four, you realize that we have practical modules. For year one, students will be doing principles of journalism, and also for year two, they'll be doing introduction to radio production and introduction to television production. And also in year three, they'll be doing public relations and conflict management and other related modules. For year four, they'll be doing capstone project and event management and broadcast commentary. All of these are practically oriented modules. So what we did in our curriculum is that we are not only ensuring that we have the practicals within our university or our department, we ensure that when our students get to the third year of the program, after the second semester, we send them out so that they can get some practicals from the media institutions across the country.
Internship based.
Internship based, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So, my understanding about bridging the gap between theory and practice is actively incorporating real-world media experiences and practical skills in the curriculum, ensuring students not only understand theoretical concepts, but can also apply them effectively in professional settings, like producing content, managing social media, or reporting news by utilizing methods like internship, just as you mentioned, and of course, guest lectures from industry professionals and learning that mimic industry demands. How has the department been working to see that the students align with this?
Thank you so much, James. First, like I said, we ensure that when we are designing the curriculum, we ensure that we incorporate the practical aspect of it in our curriculum. Like I mentioned, there are modules that students are doing. And those students, when they're offering those modules, we provide a platform for them. That is why, like I said, the leadership of this particular university is so wise enough that it will never introduce a program without having a platform where students can do their practicals. For us in the mass comm department, we have the radio and the television station. When our students do have practicals, we ensure that they go to the radio station and the television. Even as I'm talking, it's our students that are doing this particular that we are doing now. They are the ones that are even producing this particular program. Had it not been for the very fact that we would have integrated some practical aspects in the curriculum, they wouldn't have been able to do what they're doing. And also, we've been staging a public lecture. You are aware of the fact that we had Samuel Wise here.
Yes.
He came here the last time just for him to explain to our students how it is done in the universe or out there. In essence, before our students are finished their course, they'll be very ready for the job market. You do not need to wait until when you go to third year. Then you'll be exposed to cameras. You'll be exposed to other things related to media. For us now, our students will not seem to be scary. They will not feel that kind of person in a way that they feel so bad in using some of these gadgets. Because prior living for the internship, they would have been exposed to what a camera is, what a prompter is, what a console board is, and what a mixer is, or whatever, what a transmitter is. So like they'll be able to get some of this knowledge before they leave for the universe. So that is why it is key for us to integrate hands-on practical in our curriculum.
Yeah, and I feel you have really set the pace, the platform, because for me personally, when I went for internship at the Africa Young Voices AYV, at first they didn't take notice of the name of my university. It was like other universities that were there, and I was given an assignment that was practically based, editing news stories. For example, if we do a story today, if we cover an event today, we're supposed to produce that story the same day. Whereas for others that were there from other universities, they couldn't do that. But as for me, I conquered the time. I do it the same day. And I was asked, where are you coming from? And I said, I'm coming from Central University. And the director was like, oh, it's no doubt, because you guys are really operating the practical experiences there. So away from that, Mr. Bundu, how has your journey been like at Central University? Yes. Are you part of the embryonic stage of the mass communication department?
It's quite interesting. First, I would say Central University is a place where they give chance to the young folks to grow. It is not a department where you not allow the young folks to grow. In essence, if you have what it takes to be there, you get to that particular point. I came here far back in 2018 as a graduate. By then, we only had the administrative building there. the one that is very situated by the water tank. So like when I came, I was multitasking. In essence, we are trying to grow as a university. So like you will not be able to just play a single role. You play multiple roles. By then we are constructing the West Independent building. So like when I came here, I was teaching at the same time, doing some other jobs related to the growth of the university. So 2018 to now, I think I've spent 7 years here, and I think I'm part of the history of Central University. And when I came here, I've occupied series of positions, notably I've been the director of student affairs here, and also become the station manager for Central University Radio, and of course currently I'm the head of department for mass communication. So I think it's quite interesting, and I have something to write home about when it comes to Central University. I can pen it down. That's what I know, some parts of the history of Central University.
So tell us about what brought about the idea of establishing the radio and that of the TV.
Thank you so much. When you want to bring development in a particular environment, you look at what is absent within the society. I studied at Farabi College. I had mass communication at Farabi College, and I did my master's in mass communication development studies at the very Farabi College. But there was a missing link. What was the missing link? The missing link has to do with the very fact that they were more or less interested in the theoretical aspect of what mass communication, except for Radio Montoya, where the students do practice. But other than that, it is only Central University's mass communication department that is having a television station where the students will go and do their practicals. In essence, our television is serving as a lab. After they've been taught the theoretical aspects in the classroom, they will return to the television station and understand some of those theoretical principles that they were taught. So, like that missing link that you have a department called mass communication, what are these things that will qualify to be a better department? You need to have things like a radio station that will be serving as a lab. You need to have a television station like we have it here. So I would say without any iota of doubt that it is the only department within Sierra Leone that is having both a radio station and a television station for its students. And I want to express my thanks and appreciation to our Chancellor for being very more visionary, that we cannot have a department in abstract. In essence, you want to teach people mass communication, you just go to the classroom, you have your marker, you explain till you get tired. But for students to understand certain concepts, let them have what we call hands-on experience. Take them to the studios. I was talking about tripod, and this is what I was talking about. Because if you can use words to describe a tripod in the classroom, you will use so many words in fact. But when you take the students to the studios, right, they will come and see it, and they'll get to know that it is actually a tripod. And that is what one of our lecturers was doing in the person of Miss Alabi. Last week, I'm pretty sure she brought in some of the students that are in year one to be exposed to some of these gadgets that we have. And some of them we are seeing some of these gadgets like an egg. They did not press it so that it not break. But thankfully enough, she was able to create that particular fear, to remove that fear from them. And now they will come interact with some of these things, unlike other students that are in mass communication department in other universities. So that is something that was missing, and that is why our chancellor, with the experienced vice chancellor, we said we cannot have a department called mass communication and our students don't have platforms where they can do their practicals, and that problem has been solved. That is why our students, upon completing their program before that, they are ready for the job market. I can vouch for them.
Okay, so does mass communication only entails people studying journalism?
The scope is very wide. Okay. That is what those people out there will think. I mean, the lay people will think. But when you study mass communication, you are that kind of person that can attract job opportunities from any organization, I would say so. Reason being, every reputable organization in Sierra Leone and beyond needs a communication person. You can work at a bank, you can work for even Union Trust Bank, even though you are not a commercial person. But they have some of their activities that they are doing, and they need a communication person that will be promoting their activities. So when you study mass communication, you'll be exposed to areas like public relations. You'll be exposed to areas like marketing. You'll be exposed to areas like advertising, development communication, right? And even gender. Even our students are doing event management.
Yeah.
That is why our own curriculum is quite unique. That a single job is liable to earn a job. A single model is liable to earn a job. If you are a specialist in event management, you can be hired to be organizing what events or programs for a particular institution. And if you're a public relations expert, you can also be hired to serve as the communication person. If you're also a person somebody that can write, you can also work for the police and also you work for the broadcast. So that is why it is so good that we have all of these areas where our students can utilize and explore.
So others or viewers would want to know, how do you prepare students for evolving trends in the mass communication?
It's quite simple. I used to tell my students that if you are in university and you find yourself in this enviable and prestigious department, there are some values that we were able to incorporate in ourselves. And those values, we are coming to transfer them to you. In essence, for you to be the Department of Mass Communication, you excel and you thrive, you must be able to understand concepts and your conduct should be good. I used to tell them that it is concept and conduct that will earn the degree. Yeah. The conduct is the way you behave. For example, I don't tell my students, look, we are not training you for you to go to the factory. We are training you so that what you become a responsible people within society. And some of them, I do bash at them for the dress code. You don't go to my class with a bathroom slippers. I think that is very key because the dress code matters. And that is what will distinguish you from other departments. So when they see you, communication, the power of articulation, and your dress code, the way you appear, will make it to be quite different. Once they see you from afar, they will say, oh, mass communication. Or a mass communicator is coming from that end. So that is why they've developed that particular culture. Because once they leave the university, you understand that I should not be going to work late. Because in university, you come late to my class, no class for you. I don't tell them I am the alpha and the omega at the beginning and the end. When I enter the class, nobody will enter. So like, if you get used to that, you take it to your job, when you're going to work. You will not go to work late. Because if you go late, they will likely give you a query letter. So these are some of the things that we have as a department that has made us to be so powerful.
Yeah, with regards to what you just said, literally in the university sphere where we are right now, if you dress officially, they class you as one. Oh, mascom. And more so, if you back it up with exceptional communication skills, that's what makes you distinct. And I believe that you and your team have prepared us for a brighter future. The last time I hosted some students again from this same department, Abibatu Yansane, and of course that of Usman Dabo, they even said if they have choice of studying or pursuing another course, they will still pursue mass communication and they will prefer meeting lecturers like you, yourself, and of course others in the department. So, Mr. B, there are increasing concerns that the mass communication curriculum is lagging behind, of course, industry standards. And what steps are you taking to update the curriculum and integrate modern digital media practice and critical media theory?
I think that is an assumption, but however, the university has a mandate to review the curriculum after everything is. So like as a department, we've been mulling about that, we've been thinking about it, that we need to include certain modules, to meet the current trend. And that is what we are working on. As I'm talking, there are certain things that I'm working on now that I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I want to maintain them to be very secret as they are. Once that has been approved, then I'll make it known to the public. But for now, I do not want to let the cat out of the bag.
Yes, so let us talk about the successes so far. We see in almost all of the convocations that Central University has had, we've seen mass communication students collecting prizes. We've seen mass communication students are being called up to be congratulated upon their successes. Thinking of the leaders in the departments, not in a large number, but you guys are doing extensively well. And how are you working on this to ensure that you produce such distinctive people in the department?
Thank you so much. Um, they used to say mentality makes a man worthy. It is your mentality that will take you to places. It is your mindset. When we are students, and even as I'm a student anyway, um, we had this belief that the only way that will make you to promote is what through hard work. If you don't study, you fail. You get in the point. So, like, if you've gotten used to that particular mentality, what do? You cascade it to your students. And that is why we start from the test. When our students are writing tests, we have to space them. We do not allow them to sit very close. I used to say one pair the pair. Right? If there's any Bluetooth that is a close range, we'll have to move it far away. Because once you are able to do it when you're having a test, when you get to where amphitheater or where Old Trafford, you know Old Trafford? The hall. When you get to the hall, you're able to live up to what expectation. I hate it when I hear people saying mass comes back. They will never refer to the individual. They will say mass comes back. And that could be a damage in terms of reputation for the department. So that is why we train you. I've done that. I was conducting a test when the guy at the CCTV camera, the control room, saw some of the students engaging in what examination malpractice. And by then they were writing the exam together with their seniors. And I had to blame the seniors. Because if you are seniors, you have to live up to expectation and not allow the juniors to spy. You've not been spying, so why condone them to spy? So like, they had to communicate to me. When I got to the room, what I did was what? To tear their papers. I had to tear their papers. I tore their papers in fact.
You couldn't even think of the time. I
couldn't even think about the time. In fact, they were required to answer 4 questions, and I had to ask them to answer all questions, and there were 8 questions. The essence of punishment is not for somebody to enjoy it. It's for deterrent. Deterrent is what? For you not to do it again. So if they give you a light punishment, you'll be tempted to do it again. But once you do something that is very severe, they will never think about that. So that is why we are quite different. And our students have developed that mindset that I need to pour. Even when they invigilate our students, some of our colleagues will not want to invigilate them. Because they know these guys, they are believing in pouring. They believe in pouring what they know. And some of them want to go home and they'll say, oh, mass come, try all of these things. But for me, I know these guys can do it. That is why you are seeing we have been consistently producing students that are dominating the result when it comes towards graduation here. Right? So even this year again, we're expecting the same thing. Because the foundation is very, very strong.
How does the department's vision mission aligns with that of the brother universities' mission, and how do you see yourself in the media landscape?
Thank you so much. When you are doing management, I guess we are told that the vision of the organization supersedes all other vision.
Of course.
You should align your own vision as a department to that of what?
The institutions
or institutions with vision.
Yeah.
So our vision as a department is not different from that of the university. We may not have it word for word as in verbatim, right?
Yeah.
But again, we can have a vision that is seeking to meet the entire vision of the university. For us, we believe that what we want to become the leading mass communication department on the soil of Sierra Leone. That is what we want to become, and we are working towards that. And I believe that is a vision that is very much realistic and it's achievable. So it will not come just overnight. It will take some time. But the fact remains we'll get there. So that is why we are very much unique and we are doing things in a way that will make us to be very more distinct from other departments. So our mentality is what is key here.
So can you describe any initiative or partnership with that of industry professionals towards the department?
Before now, when we sent our students on internship, that is the batch that is leaving now at Freetown Television Network.
FTN.
At Gori State. The guy there who is the director, Lukule, wanted us to sign a memorandum of understanding that we'll be sending our students there for internship. I think that is also something that we were able to get from there. And also in Lungi, there's a radio station that is saying that what they want us to be sending our students to do their internship there. So a good number of what organizations, even for some other organizations, they don't want our students to come.
Okay.
But the only disadvantage is that we tailor our curriculum in a way that our students do their internship during the third year. And that is something that I'm going to work on. We're going to work on it as a department. That students should be going to do their internship during final year. So if they are lucky to get a job,
they'll stay.
Just be there, they'll stay.
But
if you're in the third year, you get a job, because you have a whole year to come and complete. So that is what we've been doing anyway.
So it's a fine view, and I think viewers have really learned from that. And of course, you've cleared the air about controversies, and of course, you've shared the successes so far. But we cannot bank on that. You faced a lot of challenges so far with regards students, and of course with regards other departments, of course. How are you able to combat these challenges?
Challenges are inevitable. You will never avoid challenges. And when you face challenges, what you do is what? To try to overcome them. We've been getting challenges with our students internally.
Yeah.
And some of them, it has towards their commitments to the cause. And some will come and give you a series of excuses that I'm not this, I'm not that. But I have a way of doing it personally. If you say you are sick, my man, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are sick. It is not just by word of mouth. And what I normally do is this. I have so many approaches, in fact, that I implement. Sometimes, if you come late, I will not even allow you to enter my class. Yeah, those are the things that are very key. And for externally, I think there is this battle for students also when it comes to admission. That is a challenge that we do face. As a department, we are very more complacent our notes. In essence, we had this in our minds that we've grown, we've excelled, we have something to point at. They are indicators.
Yeah.
So that we will make you to become complacent. That with or without advertisement or much advertisement, you're going to attract students. Not until when we realize that's this latter part. And that is why when I came to the office, what I introduced was for us to have advertisement that will be ongoing continuously. It's not just when we have admissions. And even this morning again, I spoke with Mr. Komba and Mr. Koma that they need to get me something, including you, to get me something on public relations and marketing communications. Yeah. It is a program that we've introduced. It's not doing well, so we want it to do well, and it's a fine program. So like we're going to intensify our advertising strategies or skills so that we'll get to a point where we attract more students. These are some of the challenges. Again, you may have some things that you have in mind to do, but like sometimes you have other external forces that will limit you from achieving that particular thing. So what you do is it will just die out. Yeah, so these are some of the challenges that we face. We face them both internally and externally.
Yeah. So, of course, you've given me, personally, you've given me all what I need to know in as much as we've interacted, and of course, we've learned from you. But to sum up, all viewers would want to know your exceptional communication skills, and of course how we were trained, and of course how we were able to train up these young folks, these young guys in the university. Where did you get it from?
I am a product of Kaizeki College both.
Wait.
My alma mater.
You mean the graveyard boys?
Well, it's not a graveyard as in cemetery. It's a place where you seek knowledge. So do not misconstrue.
I meant to understand that it's closer to the cemetery.
Yes, you don't understand it. It is metaphorical in nature. Okay. You don't understand it. I'm saying it's called graveyard boys, but it goes beyond that meaning. It means it's a place where you can get knowledge. That is where we interact with the dead people. And history can tell you that since we've been there, we've never heard that somebody has passed away. At CKC. So like, my foundation is very strong. And when I was at CKC, it is actually difficult for you to talk Creole, because when you talk Creole, it will go with some penalties.
And I was able to get that foundation from there. And later I proceeded to Furabe College. And when I went to Furabe College again, I was finding it very more difficult to select a course that I was going to do. It was only when I interacted with some people and they told me that this is the course that is called mass communication, but you'll be required to write an exam before you be admitted. Then I said I'll go in for the difficulty. Then I went for the exam and I wrote the exam. I was able to go through the exam. And later I graduated. And I want to thank my lecturers, the likes of Dr. Suwa, who is my mentor, and for instilling in me some of these values that you don't give money to lecturers to pass. And when we came here, we replicated that. When you bring money to me personally, I would tell, if I would say it in class, I would say it in class. Your money we use as lunch. And even the circumstance in which you give me money, I will take it to be a bribe. I will not accept it. You've never been doing me good, you've not been doing me good, and now what happens? You've written my exam and you know fully that you're going to fail it. You come to my house and say, I'm coming to give me money. I bought you this, I bought you that. No, look at the circumstance, then you know it's a bribe. So like these are the things, and our students know that Mr. Bundu and others are not the people that you can influence using money and other things. So the only option that they have is what? To go and read. When what you get, you get. And that is why you do not hear much of the grumbles. Because what you get, you get. And even the students among themselves will accept it that what? This guy is what? A grade A student. No cause for doubt, in fact. Wherein somebody will come, you see somebody that's not doing well, he happens to get what? A. Outcomes. For me, I'm mindful of the fact that there should be a correlation. If somebody is not an A student, I give that person A. What about the other modules? The person is getting C and D, and in my module A, no. If you are not an A material, forget it. You have to be an A material. You have to convince me that you deserve it. And when I give you A, my man, you are home and dry. You are well fortified. You can withstand any battle.
So, Mr. B, tell us your role as head of department. Yeah.
My role as head of department.
Yeah.
I am playing an administrative role. As head of department, I ensure that our department work in line with the vision of the university. What is the vision of the university? To have what we call a quality education, standard education in Sierra Leone, and beyond. So like, how do I help the university to achieve its vision? It has to do the fact that I ensure that my lecturers comply with the university's what? Requirements. That you are a head of department, you have a lot to do, as was stated by Fayol under the principles of management. He said with authority comes with what? Responsibility. It is not just about taking the title, assuming the title, then you become complacent. Once you assume the title, you're required to work assiduously to meeting your responsibilities. And also, Charles Darwin once postulated that there is what we call variation among living things.
Yeah.
You cannot assume the way you are. That's how other lecturers are. So what do? You try to ensure that they are on track. If a lecturer has not sent his course syllabus, you ensure that he sends his course syllabus. If a lecturer has not administered assessment or assignment, you ensure that the lecturer tries to administer a particular assessment. If a lecturer has not entered the grade of a particular student, you ensure that is done. As I'm talking to you, I have cases now in my office that I need to handle as against tomorrow. One for the exam office and one for the director of quality assurance.
Okay.
All of those cases will come. Sometimes I leave my office, I find some places to hide. Because when I want to do something very serious, I don't want somebody to be hitting my door. Mr. Bundu and this and that. So like, I go to my next office. At Central University, I have 2 offices. Yeah? The radio station is one of my offices. And I hope this one will not go out. Of course it will go out. Right? So like, that's another office. I'll go there, close the door, and I'll tell whosoever that is there,
Of course.
that look, don't allow any student to come here. For today, don't allow any student to come here. I want to do something serious. And even Mr. Komba and others, they are aware anyway. Some of them were finding me like what? During the holiday. And I would just go there and close the door.
For dissertation.
Yes, for dissertation and other stuff. Because when I want to do something, I just have to lock myself in one of these places so that nobody will disturb. So that is something that is very peculiar, very unique anyway.
So what feedback system do you use to assess content produced in the television and, of course, the radio station?
The feedback system.
Yeah.
For a radio station, you get it from the audience. You get it from the audience. And that is why for the television, we believe that what we have leadership.
Yeah, our own.
Our own, yes.
Yes.
We have leadership within. So like whosoever that we place as a leader to head whatever platform, like the television or the radio, we ensure that what that particular person is competent and fit for that particular job.
Yeah.
At Central University Television, we've gotten Mr. Komba, who is heading what this television. So like we trust him. We believe that what he's having the ideology. We've imbibed in him some of these values. So like when they say Komba is there, it's just like me. When Dr. Suwa comes to Central University and they say this student is being supervised by Mr. Bundu, you getting the point?
Yeah.
And that is why most interviews have not been serious. Because when you go for interview, you say I'm coming from this school, and the panel is comprised of members that are coming from that school. They will just value based on what the standard of that particular school. And the interview will not be serious. They will just ask you about the principal in that school. And that's the end of the interview. So the same thing, if we have some people that we've trained, and they are heading a particular institution, organization, or entity, it is our assumption that what they will not deceive us. They will live up to what expectation. For the TV, we have Tamba Stephen Komba, Mr. Komba, of course. We trust him, and we know whatever he's going to do at the television will not be contravening the mission and vision of Central University.
Of course.
It will be in line.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do. And it is our utmost sanctity that whatever content that is being put out from our television and radio, that content has been, they've done what we call gatekeeping on that particular before they go out. Because we know the consequence of what you losing your reputation. So that is what we do. And also we get feedback from the audience when these programs are being put out. Like for Facebook, you will see some likes and some comments, right? Which means what you are doing is a good job. For me, most of your content, I do see them on Facebook, right? So that is how we're able to get feedback from the people.
So lastly, can you please answer this question sent here? The person said, given the current challenges with misinformation and fake news, how is your department training students to critically analyze and counteract these challenges, particularly when the institution itself might be perceived as having an inherent bias?
An inherent bias.
Yeah.
Thankfully enough, the person say perceive. It's a perception. You get in the point.
Yeah.
And for us, how we train our students, we do tell them that don't fall for any kind of information you're exposed to. And also, the mode or the means of sourcing news.
Yeah.
If somebody comes and tells you something, and the person says, don't identify me, automatically you become very more curious.
Yeah.
Why is it that I need not identify this particular person? It is likely possible that what he or she is giving me now is a fake news. You get to the point. So like you have to move further to clarify that particular information that you've gotten. If somebody says I'm coming to give you information on record, which means you must identify me and even use the information, which means that information is likely authentic. So you can use it. We do train our students not to publish any information without fact checking. It is a must that you should fact check it, because they may give information that is not authentic, that is not accurate, and you'll be tempted. Owing to the fact that what, as media practitioners, we believe in what exclusive news stories. Because of the excitement to be the first to break the news, you will not even do what we call fact checking.
Of course.
You want to take credit for that particular information that has been sent out. And in that particular excitement, you do not take your time to fact check. But we are saying, even though you've gotten a particular information, fact check that particular information to know how authentic it is before you can publish. Because it is not a person that gives you the information now. It is you that will be sending the information out. They will regard it to be someone that's not credible. So that is how we do to help our students to publish information that is very much genuine and not fake.
Yeah.
Let them don't fall for any sort of things that they get. And if they get an information, let them try to fact check it to see how authentic it is. Where is it coming from? Right? Is the source credible? These are the questions you ask yourself so that you know whether the information is accurate or not.
So, any advice and your last statement to potential students and parents in the mass communication department here at Central University?
I would say mass communication is a program that always moves with the trend. If you go, you read history, then getting a job or you being employed could be a challenging issue. But if you do mass communication, yes, we may move from print, but we still have broadcast.
Yeah.
We still have social media. We still have podcast.
Yeah.
You can still work, and we still have public relations. So which means you will never run out of job. You must be exposed to job. Every day you visit, they will tell you, they visit social media platforms, they'll tell you, we are looking for a communication person. So when you do it, you have a better advantage. And also, it is also a pathway, because you have the ability to communicate. You'll be taught how to communicate well. So like doing mass communication, to me, it's never a regret. And I enjoy it that you are doing mass communication, and that students that may wish to come and study mass comm should not hesitate. Let them come. This is the best place to be. You may have mass communication at other places, the University of McKinney, the Bakarr College. But again, the question is, would you learn everything before you graduate? Or would you be exposed to much practicals? But here you come, you'll be in year one, and the likes of James and others will start exposing you. John is here, he's in year one. And now he's touching the cameras, he's touching the tripod, all of that.
Yeah.
But other universities, it's very difficult. They don't even have them. But for us, we pride ourselves using this particular gadget. That is why most of our programs that we have on the soil of Central University, we can see they are being made visible by the mass communication departments. Even tomorrow that we'll be having an inauguration, if we don't go to that particular place, the program will not be successful. Because whatever that is being done there, they want coverage of that particular thing. That is why we are very important. You cannot do away with us. To say, I'm in this university, like, you know, you must, whatever you are doing, they need to make that thing known to the public.
Yeah.
So doing mass communication, you can have even some set skills. You know how to edit a video, you can go into documentary, you can go into movie. You know, there are a lot of opportunities out there. It all depends if you are willing, if you are ready, if you are determined, if you are hardworking. Then if you are hardworking, you get to that point. Look at James. James, 3 years back, he was a novice.
I had no idea.
No idea. And now he's hosting a whole lot of departments here. That tells you
It's a
we
privilege.
have a legacy.
Of course.
And our legacy will always live on.
Yeah.
For me, what I find to be very more pleasurable is that when you make people,
Yeah.
I don't tell people that I'm not in this world to become the richest man. I am in this world to impact souls. As life is not about how many wealth you've amassed, but how many souls you've touched.
The psychic income.
The psychic income is what I like.
Yeah.
When you see people excelling, after 2 years I see James driving an exotic vehicle. And he comes to Central University, he says, I'm here to see Mr. Bundu. I feel so good. For us, we are like parents. We want our students to excel, even than us. That's what we want. And that's why we are creating the platform. When I became head of department, what did I do? I said, no. Some were saying, recruit people from out there. I said, no. He said, I'm going to use people that have gone through the system for them to work. And that is one of my legacies. I do not even need to write it. Some legacies don't even need to write them.
They are being seen.
Yes, they can see them.
Yeah.
And now they are doing extremely well. If we have these people that are exceptional students,
Yeah.
all we need to do is what? To mentor them
Yeah.
so that they'll get to that particular point. If you bring somebody that is an ageable person or somebody from out there, it will cost the institution a lot of resources, as that particular person has to be taught the values of the university. That person has to be trained. Don't get it twisted that if you are coming from private college, you come to Central, you are 100% okay for the job. No, because we have our own culture. And when you come to Central, they need to train in our culture, devoid of the education that you've attained. Here, we have opposites, we have Google Classroom. We have other things that we do here. And when you come here, you have to be trained. And some of our colleagues have been here, they cannot cope with the job. Because where they are coming from. They don't even know about opposites and Google Classroom. They will not even allow them for core syllabus. They do what they want.
Yeah.
And when you get to the public university, you are like academic or the right as a lecturer.
Yeah.
But here now, they put you on your toes, which is good.
Yeah.
Because you have to give back to those students. And those students are going to acquire knowledge from you, and they are going to represent you. So that is what I find very more pleasurable in doing when I see my students excelling. Then again, one of my students approached me the last time. He said, how do you normally do this? That you interact with students, but again, you are able to draw the line of demarcation.
Yeah.
Then I said, look, it is not when you make yourself so fearful or when you make yourself so difficult that will make you to be respected. Respect is something that can be earned.
Of course.
You don't need to impose yourself on people before they can respect you. You have to be natural, be yourself, and do your own part. Respect they can accord you. I don't need to come here, I don't talk to people. No. When people come close to you, they've seen something in you, and they want to learn from you, so don't drive them. Because the position you are occupying today, they will occupy tomorrow. And you need to prepare them for that particular opportunity. So don't drive people. I don't drive my students. You know, I interact with them, but you know your limits, and I know my responsibility towards you.
Yeah.
You know you should not cross this part, and when you cross it, I will deal with you. And for me now, I do not look at my emotions. Even though James could be my close person, but if James crosses his limits, what will I do? I'm going to deal with him. My principles are always above my emotions.
Of course.
So like, I don't look at that relationship.
Yeah.
Because once you look at your emotions, then you'll not be able to implement the policies of the university. But sometimes you do things, they will go against your emotions. But what do? You just have to do it. You just have to execute. Otherwise, you are killing the department or you are killing the entire university. So we do not want that to happen. So I was able to draw that line between interacting with students and what ensuring that what I implement the policies of the university.
Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us here today. We do appreciate you. And some of us were testifiers of your good work and, of course, what you've taught us in and out of the classroom. So we appreciate you being here today. So viewers, this is where we'll end today's edition of Student Corner here on Central University Television. But before we go, let's have a quick reminder of the quote of the day, which says, "You don't understand anything until you learn it more than one way." And it's coming from Marvin Lee Minsky, the inventor of confocal scanning microscope in 1955. Many thanks to our chief producer and of course the technical team. Continue to follow Student Corner and do not forget to like, comment and share our videos. I have been your presenter, James Amethali. Till then, goodbye.